Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel FP Sri Lanka. So once again, I warmly welcome you to my YouTube channel. So here today I'm going to discuss, or actually today I'm going to continue what I did from the previous video. So this is the part 2 of the background of business. That means the grade 10 first lesson of the commerce. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video as well as you did previously, and thanks. So let's discuss our next subtopic. I'm going to discuss about manufacturing businesses. What are the manufacturing businesses? Let's read. Businesses can be categorized as follows based on the nature of the product produced by a business, right? So nature of the product. Based on the nature of the product, we can classify manufacturing businesses into two. So manufacturing businesses can be classified into two based on the product what they produce, right? Based on the products they produce. So first one is commodity manufacturing businesses and service providing businesses. These are the two kinds of businesses. If we think about manufacturing businesses based on the nature of the product they produce, product can be either a good or a service. So good or a service, the both are commonly known as a product, right? So let's move. So commodity manufacturing business. Let's read. Tangible and physically existing things. Tangible means we can touch it, right? We can touch and feel what it is, right? And physically existing means we can see it. We can see the good with our naked eyes. That's why it is known as a commodity. If the product means good or a service, it may be a good or a service. So if the product is tangible and physically existing, that can be that can be told as a commodity. Things can be called as a commodity, whereas the establishments which produce the commodity requires for the fulfillment of human needs and wants are called as commodity manufacturing businesses. So the businesses, those who produce tangible and physically existing things, are known as commodity manufacturing businesses. Establishments which produce, establishments means businesses which produce the commodity required for the fulfillment of human needs and wants are known as commodity manufacturing businesses. They produce different goods by considering various tastes of consumers, income level and social status to ease the lifestyle of humans. For sure, so income level, based on the income level, they have let's say like this. We have extra and margarine, and also we have butter. So butter normally, the consumers and customers, those who purchase butter, are those who having a little bit high income. Their income level is higher than the ones who purchasing margarine or extra. Likewise, and social status, for sure. So the guys or the people who drives Benzes, the people who drive Benz, and they are, and at the same time we have seen the people, those who drive Trijos and motorcycles. That case, social status and income level and taste of consumers, those are the things that should be considered when we are businessmen. So we have to focus and target only one group, and we have to satisfy their wants and needs, right? So processed food, that means fast foods, fried rice goes to likewise. So automobiles, and yes, Toyota, and there are many leading brands like Tesla, and so electric ovens and mobile phones, washing machines and furniture, those are the commodities. So the businesses those manufacture these kinds of things are known as commodity manufacturing. So commodity, there are two. For being a commodity, there are two characteristics. One is tangible, it should be definitely tangible and physically existing, and that means we can see. Tangible means we can touch and feel, right? So let's go on. Now, these are the manufacturing, and these are the classical examples for manufacturing businesses. It may be a telephone, it may be a mobile phone, it may be a laptop, iPad, whatever it is. If it is tangible and physically existing, yes, for sure, automobiles. This may be a huge factory of Toyota, right? So they produce motor vehicles, automobiles, and water bottles. If the water bottle is physically existing and we can see, oh yeah, there is a water bottle, and we can touch and feel, oh there is, this may be a water bottle, and definitely should be a commodity, right? Commodity. And yes, if we talk about again, right, product can be categorized for two. Product can be either, product can be either or a good or a service. So commodity and goods are, both terms are right. So good manufacturing businesses and commodity manufacturing businesses are the same. Those two terms are same. So let's move on. Yes, we have to talk about service providing businesses as well. So any activity or a process rendered to consumers by a business in order to fulfill their needs and wants are known as service. Let's read again. Any activity or a process. Any activity or a process. Process means a kriyavaliya, or activity means kriya. So any activity or a process rendered, giving to consumers, right? Rendered means giving, offering, right? Any activity or process offered to consumers by a business, right? Any activity or a process offered to us by a business is known as a service providing businesses. Those who offering those kinds of services, but it should be in order to fulfill our needs and wants, right? So the businesses providing these services are known as service providing businesses. Examples: wholesale businesses, right? Retail businesses, the ones who issue more goods, and for wholesale guys and retail guys, those are service providing. And insurance institutions, banking institutions, beauty salons, and education institutions. The saloon is a classic example for service manufacturing businesses. And yes, the institutions, those who provide tuition, and it will be Montessori, or it will be our school, and those are known as the service manufacturing business. And factors of production. What is known as factors of production? Let's talk about that. Right? Factors of production. Businesses require different resources to produce goods and services, right? So as we are businessmen, if I am a businessman, I need various resources to manufacture my good or a service, right? For the service. So what are those resources? So these resources required are known as factors of production. What I need to produce some goods and services is known as resources. So the resources are referred to as factors of production in commerce. So if we need water, if we need electricity, if we need capital, that means if we need a machine, if we need labor, those are all considered under the factors of production in commerce. So the factors of production can be categorized basically as land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. This should be pronounced as entrepreneurship. So land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. These are the 4 factors of production we have to discuss under this lesson. So let's move on. First of all, we talk about land. So as the first of factors of production, land, I'm going to discuss about the land. So all the natural resources available are considered as land. So all the natural resources that we use to produce our goods or services are known as land. So it includes resources on the surface of the land as well as resources beneath the land. That means if we talk about soil, if we talk about mineral, if we talk about crude oil, and those are known as resources beneath the land. And surface of the land means we have forest, we have water, we have soil likewise, and we have sunlight also above the land also. can be considered as a factors of production under land. So land is, once again I'm going to tell you, all the natural resources available are considered as land. All the natural resources available are considered as land. So this is a forest, and this is also an example for land. Yeah, this one too. And sunlight. This one is also an example for land and soil. So the labor, what do you mean by labor? The mental and physical contribution in a business can be considered as labor. In simple terms, what does it mean? The mental and physical contribution in a business. Mental and physical. So there may be guys who contribute using their physical contribution. That means if you take about an engineer or the guy who is a wage labor. So what he does is he uses physical techniques and physical things to contribute for the business. It can be a digger pit, and it can be a mason, and those who tiling, and those who plumbing, and those who likewise they give their contribution using physical energy, right? So, and can be considered as labor as simple. Physical and mental also. There may be managers, there may be accountants, those who don't contribute using physical things, but they use their mentality for their businesses. So as an example, individual rendering physical efforts, right? Individuals rendering physical efforts are the ones who contribute with their physical energy. So workers in the mines and sanitary labors, workers in the mine, they digging and mining the gems, right? So individuals rendering mental efforts are the ones who have the mental contribution, the ones who contribute the organization using their mental efforts. So they would be accountants and managers, right? So this is one of the classic examples which can be used as labor who offers their mental, not mental, physical efforts. So those are the ones who offer the organization from their mental efforts. So yes, they can be managers or accountants, right? So the capital, what do you mean by capital? Anything produced by man in order to facilitate manufacturing process is known as capital. So anything produced by man, right? The ones produced by human in order to facilitate the manufacturing process. That means it could be a machine, it could be a lorry, or else anything that is produced by a man in order to fulfill manufacturing process. So yes, as an example, machinery can be taken, buildings, motor vehicles, money. So those are the capital, right? So yeah, those huge buildings can be taken as a classic example, for these are the machines. Machinery is being used to produce goods and services. So those machines, for definitely they are produced by a human, and as well as machines also used, but those are also considered to capital. So entrepreneurship. So what do you mean by entrepreneurship, right? You might have heard that Sri Lanka lacks of entrepreneurs. The ones who don't think naively, the ones who don't, aren't. We can find the ones who think naive things, the ones who can produce innovative products, the ones who can't change the routine of daily people of Sri Lanka. So entrepreneurship is like that, somewhat like that. So let's read. Entrepreneurship encompasses the role of organizing factors of production such as land, labor, and capital required for production in order to start and conduct manufacturing process, right? So an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship encompasses the role of organizing factors, right? The earlier mentioned three of factors of production is land, labor, capital. The entrepreneurship means encompasses the role of organizing. Those the one who organizes the factors of production such as land, labor, capital required for production in order to start and conduct a manufacturing process. Those an entrepreneur would be the one who organizes the factors of production such as land, labor, capital in order to start or in order to maintain a manufacturing business, right? Manufacturing business can be either a service producing business or a good or commodity manufacturing business. An entrepreneur takes the risk, right? They take the risk, create innovation, that means new products, newly thinkable products, and takes decisions with regard to the business. So entrepreneurship plays a major role in any economy in any country. So as we are Sri Lankans, we lack of them because there are no new creators, and always we can talk about we can see businessmen were there, but we lack of entrepreneurships, or we lack of entrepreneurs, those who organize factors of production such as land, labor, and capital to produce an innovative products and to produce innovations, and those who take much risk on that process. So I'm going to discuss stakeholders of businesses. Who they will be. That means who are the stakeholders, right? So under that, there are two subtopics: stakeholders and objectives of stakeholders. Let's see who are those stakeholders. Who are the ones who are referred to as stakeholders. Stakeholders are the different parties who are interested in the business activities. Those who have an interest on our business activities are the parties which are referred to as stakeholders. Stakeholders, once again I am reading this. Stakeholders are the different parties, right? Different parties who are interested in the business activities. These parties are interested in the business operations in order to fulfill various objectives, right? They have their own objectives. It is different from each and every stakeholder. So they are interested on businesses to fulfill their different objectives, to fulfill their various objectives. Let's see what are those objectives. So first of all, these are the stakeholders. These are the examples for stakeholders in a company or in a business: customers, employees, investors, right? Media and local authorities, community groups, environment partners, and regulators. So according to your syllabus, these are the stakeholders you are getting on your exam, right? So first of all, as the stakeholder, owners. Who are the owners? So we are going to discuss that. Owners are the individuals providing resources to the business, right? Those who provide resources, those who allocate resources to the business are known as the owners. The owner of a business can be either a single person or a group of persons, right? So if we take about a partnership, that means more than one owner can be there, right? So if we take about the limited liability company and the companies which are in the which are stated in the share market, there may be millions of investors, right? Unlimited investors. So there is no law to have a one owner for a single business. The businesses consisting only one owner is known as sole proprietorships, and we will discuss about that in the third chapter of your grade 10. So second stakeholders would be managers. The business operations are conducted and decisions of the owners are implemented by the managers, right? The business operations are conducted. The managers are those who conduct business operations, and taking day-to-day decisions of the owners are implemented by. So this means the decisions that are taken from owners are implemented by managers. Managers are the ones, those who implement the decisions of the owners. That means if the owner takes a decisions, manager is the ones who play the part of it, right? So if we talk about the employees as the next stakeholder, individuals performing the operations of a business are known as employees, right? So we talked about those employees earlier also. So employees is individuals, those who perform the operations, right, of a business are known as employees. So stakeholders and financial institutions, and our next stakeholder would be financial institutions. Financial institutions means we can take examples as banks, finance companies, insurance companies, and there may be lot of financial institutions. Financial institutions are the institutions providing required loan facilities, consultancy services, etc. to a business, right? So these stakeholders are providing businesses their services such as loans and consultancy services. So the government, our next stakeholder would be the government. The government propagates policies required to achieve economic growth of a country. So the government plays a major role in any country because they make policies to run their country. They make policies to rule their country, right? To achieve economic growth, right? We'll take let's say as an example, if it is the duty of economic minister to propagate policies to achieve economic growth of a country, right? So the community, what do you mean by community? Includes the population living outside of the businesses. As examples, journalists, environmentalists, pressure groups, media are also categorized under this one. That means those examples are also can be categorized under the community. Okay, so we have another stakeholder named customers, and in the part 1 of this video I talked about them a lot. Okay, the customers are the individuals who buy goods and services from a business. Right? So the customers are the individuals who purchase goods and services from a business. They can buy these goods either with the reselling motive or with the motive of use or non-consumption. That means if I go for a boutique shop and let's say I purchased 3 toffees, later on I can sell 2 toffees of them, right? 2 toffees of those to my friend, right? That is explained as reselling motive or with the motive of use, or either I can eat it, right? So suppliers are the providers of raw materials, transport facilities, etc. to a business, right? So the suppliers are the ones, those who provide raw materials to continue our business processes. If they don't supply their raw materials in a timely, effective manner, in a timely basis, we won't be able to continue our business processes. So suppliers are also one of the most important stakeholders of the business. So competitors are the business producing or selling similar goods or services to a business operation. That means competitors, right, are the other businesses, right? The other businesses, those who produce a similar or those who produce or sell a similar goods or services to our business, right? Business operation. let's take an example as Munchie and Melbourne, right? Both of those businesses produce biscuits as their products, and they are highly competitive each other. Okay, so let's read this. All these stakeholders are intended to achieve various objectives from the business. Some selected objectives of them are depicted in the table. So I earlier mentioned that each and every stakeholder has their own objective to be fulfilled from our businesses. So let's talk about those. These are the another examples for stakeholders. If we talk about employees, consumers, shareholder investors, business partners and vendors, local communities, government regulatory authorities, media can be classified under community. Industrial associations, local communities also can be categorized under community, business partners and vendors, right? So stakeholders. What stakeholder side? I'm going to talk about the owners first. As an owner, right? As the owners of a business, what they expect from the business, right? What their main expectation from investing money to the business, right? Security of the investment, right? Definitely, there should be a security for their investment. Whether if they lost their money, the money invested to that there is no security, right? So always owners expect security of the investment. So earning a sufficient profit, right? So each and every owner's motive is to earn sufficient profit, right? So the growth of the business operations in future. So if we earn profit over and over again for 2 to 3 years, we can definitely expand our business, right? So managers, let's talk about their objectives. Taking decisions required to achieve the objectives, right? They are the ones who implement the decisions which are taken from the owners, and they can take decisions as they want also sometimes, right? Minor decisions, right? So taking decisions required to achieve the objectives of the business, implementing those decisions, they are the ones who launch that decisions, right? So the promotions and job satisfaction, definitely they expect promotions from the business as well as job satisfaction. There should be a friendly working environment, right? There should be employee welfare things, right? Likewise. So employees, what they do expect from the business, let's say receiving a fair wage or a salary, for sure, right? So each and everyone's dream is to earn salary, but it should be fair, right? Each and everyone's dream is to earn a salary or somewhat like that, but it should be fair, right? So the job security is also, they need the job, they don't want to lose their jobs, right? So the job security, because of this COVID pandemic, right? Lot of the employees have lost their job, right? Lots of employees have lost their jobs. Therefore, there is no job security for them because of this pandemic, right? Likewise, they expect job security as well. So customers, what are their objectives? Let's see, obtaining products at a reasonable price, right? So obtaining a quality products. These two objectives are taught in the first video. If you have watched it, you can remember, you can remind it. So the fundamental two objectives would be obtaining products at a reasonable price. It should be reasonable, right? The price of the specific product or the price of any product should be reasonable, and obtaining a quality. There should be quality as well, right? So the So as customers, we always expect a quality product at a reasonable price. So suppliers, right? Suppliers, they expect securing orders continuously, right? So they are also doing a business now. So they expect the orders from our business continuously. If it stops, how they can manage funds, how they can continue their businesses. So definitely he likes to secure orders continuously and obtaining money without any delay. So there are many instances that suppliers aren't get paid correctly, right? So the suppliers are not good at those businesses. So suppliers also need to get money without delay. So institutions collecting loans and advances given, right? Yes, they need the provided loans should be collected, right? And advances also. So if we take a loan from a bank, that bank is expecting us to pay their or to reimburse or to pay their loan amount, right? Loan installment, monthly basis or yearly basis, whatever, right? So are their primary, their one of the primary objective would be collecting loans and advances given, providing more loans and advances as well, right? If they provide more loans and advances only, that's the only way uh, to reach for a good profit. Uh, that's if we see it from the banker's view of point. So the government needs and the government's objectives towards our businesses, what they like from our businesses is taxes due collect taxes due, right? Collecting tax, of course, yes. If as a government they need to be provided funds, so they need funds to continue their day-to-day activities as well. So they need taxes, they need to impose taxes on our businesses, so they like to do it. So generating employment opportunities is also an objective of the government, and increasing the domestic production is also an important objective which a government expects from the businesses. Competitors. Uh, the primary objectives of competitors would be determining the prices of own products to face competition, right? So as the competitors, they have to face for the competition in a strongful manner. If not, they will have to shut down their operations and go away. So determining the prices of own products means they have to price up their products in a competitive manner, right? So if we take about an example, let's say Melbourne's cream cracker would be 100 rupees, then Munchie one is also would be 100 or less than it. That's the determining the prices of own products. Competitive prices should be there always. Community, analyzing whether the business activities are conducted in an environmentally friendly manner. Yeah, community is for that. So we took some examples as for community media is there, environmentalists. So they are interested on the environment and they are interested on the business, whether they perform their business day-to-day activities in an environmentally friendly manner. So analyzing whether business contributes to the social welfare as well, right? So they can't only make profit for every day, right? So they have to do something in return for their social also. That's why analyzing whether business contributes, right? They analyze whether the businesses contribute to the social welfare. So the future investors, right? future investors are also known as potential investors taking decisions on the investments. So future investors or potential investors would be like this: those who are interested on investing on, right? The parties, those who are interested on investing on the specific industry, not the business, on the specific industry, right? So if we take about a farm, so farm means a specific farm. If we take a farm means a business, but farm industry, right? Agricultural industry, the ones who known as future investors are the ones who will invest in future for that agricultural or for that industry. Okay, so a business is required to conduct its operations in a way that it satisfies various objectives of its stakeholders. For sure, yes. In this regard, business also expects certain contributions from its stakeholders. So stakeholders are always looking at the businesses, and they are always trying to fulfill their own objectives. But from the business point of view, businesses also expects some certain contributions from its stakeholders as well. So yeah, here I have mentioned the stakeholders again, and this is very clear than others: geothermal companies, insurance, financial institutions, media, public authorities, policymakers, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, right? So let's discuss what businesses expect from their stakeholders. So first of all, owners. So as a business, what expects from owners are listed out here. So contributing adequate capital. Yeah, there should be adequate capital to and working capital to do day-to-day business activities, right? Being dedicated and enthusiastic about business activities. For sure, right? There should be a dedication to and enthusiasm to perform on business activities. Supervising business activities. So supervising business activities means they need to get supervised. If there is a robbery on the business, no one will knows that. So each and every time we have to supervise them, right? So managers, implementing business plans appropriately, taking correct decisions. So business is interested on managers because if the business needs to get a success, right? The business needs to get success, or if the business needs to get more competitive or more to grow, so they have to take correct decisions, and taking decisions is one of the responsibilities and one of the key areas of managers, right? So implementing business plans appropriately also one of the contributions from managers which is expecting from businesses side. So employees means appropriately completing the task assigned. So business needs employees to, right? Business needs employees to complete appropriately the task assigned for them. So the increasing productivity of labor is also another example, right? As suppliers supplying quality raw materials continues, what business expects from suppliers is to be supplied quality raw materials continuously. There should be quality raw materials, right? So supplying raw materials in time is also very important, because late deliveries can cause so many problems in business activities. So the government providing business friendly incentives. Okay, so we have come up to the end of this video. So I hope that you guys will like this video for sure, right? So please put a comment definitely. So I did what I can do, and I think I do it. Yeah, there may be some problems in my speaking also, but I think I did it fairly. Okay, so like I said, thanks for watching again, and big concept, stay tuned for it.